Congratulations, you are a father of a beautiful baby girl. That was definitely the happiest moment of my life. I was so excited. I was over the moon. And then it hit me. Can I be a good father? Contest chair, friends, honor guests. I grew up without my father. Not entirely, but a big portion of my childhood years. You see, we were just another working class family trying to make it in the big city. And when an opportunity presented itself, my father took it. He went to work in the Middle East, in the land of oil. So my mother and I can have a better life in the land of smile. I got to go to a nice school, had all the extra activities, the swimming lesson, the piano lesson, even the karate lesson. But I was just a little boy. I was too young to see what my dad has to give up in order for me to have all that. I remember on my 7th birthday, I wanted a Gundam robot so bad. But instead, I got this hand-drawn birthday banner sent all the way from Saudi Arabia. And my mom said, remember, sweetheart, your father loves you very, very much. He's working hard over there so you can have a better life. Yes, I know that, Mom. But I still want my Gundam robot. Can I, please? By the time my father came back, I was in my preteen years. Perfect time for a father and son drama. You see, I was raised by my mother and my aunts. At the time, I was the man of the house. And all of a sudden, this man came in and just started to make up all these new rules. And my dad is one of those quiet type. He wasn't good with words. So he didn't take the time to explain himself or to justify his rules. So to me, it felt more like demands and orders. Always told me to do this and that the way he wanted it. Now, I have always been a rebel. At the time, I was a quiet rebel. Whatever he told me to do, I did the opposite. He wanted my hair short, so I refused to cut my hair. Not only that, I made sure that my hairstyle at the time displeased him as much as possible. He wanted me to wear slack and dress up nice when I'm out with the family. Instead, I always wear jeans with holes in my jeans. And then our relationship got worse when he sent me off to school. Little did I know, that was his biggest sacrifice. He traded time with his dear boy son so I could have the best education he could provide. But at the time, I was just too dumb to realize that. At the time, it felt more like a punishment for being a bad boy. I got sent away to live with my aunt and uncle in America, while my sister got to grow up with both parents. By the time I came back, my father and I became estranged. I only visit them on important holidays, Christmas, Easter, Thai New Year. And people say time flies in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it did. Months became a year. Years became a decade. I am now have my own family to take care of. I am now once again the man of the house, but this time with greater responsibilities. I must provide for my family. I feel the need to make sure that my daughter gets the best of what I could give her. I became just like my father, whom I despised for not spending time with his son. I worked so hard. I lost sight of what's really important to me. One night, after dinner at my parents', my dad walked off to his corner. Perhaps he was trying to avoid getting into another argument with me. He sat down and read the newspaper as usual. And all of a sudden, he put down the papers and turned to me and said, Matt, don't forget to play with your daughter. Spend time with her as much as you can. And then continue reading the papers as if nothing happens. But then it hit me. Who have I become? That night, as I drove home, I thought hard about what he said. Maybe it was his way of saying sorry for the lost time, or maybe it was his last rule or his final wisdom. He wanted to give it to me. After that night, my wife and I started to make plans to move to a smaller town where life is a little less busy, less demanding, but of course, less pay. I quit my job and became a freelancer, so I could spend as much time as possible with my family. And I promised myself that I will always be there for my little girl as long as I'm still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if I can be a good dad. For once in my life, I've listened to my father's advice, because on this, I agree with him that time is our most valuable resource. It only moves forward and you can never get it back. Focusing on your goal is great, but don't miss out on the journey. If you love someone, give them the gift of time. It is the greatest gift you can ever give someone. As Pastor Rick Warren said, when you give your time, you're giving a portion of your life that you will never get back. And trust me, the memories you create together will last far beyond your own lifetime. Even after you're gone, the memories will still live on. So let us all make the most of the time we still have. Contest chair.